Spiritual Christianity, Chapter 19. When the Lord Jehovah is thus seen and received by angels in the ground of their finite states as a divine human essence, he is said to be clothed with the heavens. And reading now from Arcana Celestia, number 8705. All those whose thoughts of God are self-derived or derived from the flesh think vaguely of God. But if they think from their spirit or spiritually, they then think determinately of him. That is, they present to themselves the idea of God under a human shape. In this way do the angels of heaven think of the divine essence, and in this way was he thought of by the wise of former times, to whom, when the divine essay appeared, it was as a divine man. For the divine essence passing through the heaven is a divine man, and the cause of this is that heaven, collectively, is the greatest man. And reading now from Arcana Celestia 4687. The most ancient church, which was of a celestial character and was called man preeminently, worshipped the infinite essay, and the infinite existence or manifestation from that essay. But as it were not possible for them to have any perception of an infinite essay, although they could have some of the infinite existence from that essay, as well as from the truths which were perceptible in their internal man, as from the objects which were sensibly presented to their external man, and from the visible objects of the natural world. Therefore, they worshipped the infinite existence in which was the infinite essay. This infinite existence in which was the infinite essay they perceived as a divine man, because they knew that the infinite existence or manifestation from the infinite essay was produced through heaven. And as heaven is the greatest man, corresponding to all things collectively as well as singly in man, they could have no other perceptive idea of the infinite existence from the infinite essay than as a divine man. For whatever from the infinite essay is transient through heaven, as through the greatest man, brings along with it in all things as well as in each the image of heaven. And from Arcana Celestia 10579. Before the Lord's advent into the world, when Jehovah appeared, he was in the form of an angel. For when he passed through heaven, he clothed himself with that form which was the human form. The whole heaven, from the divine essence there, being as one man. Spiritual Christianity, Chapter 20. The Lord Jehovah in himself, absolutely and entirely one, immutable and improgressive, appears to change in quality and to be progressive in his life, according to the changes and progressions of state in those who receive him. Reading from Divine Love and Wisdom, number 54. The divine essence is not different in one subject from what it is in another, but each created subject is different from every other, there being no two things identical. Each one, therefore, is a different continent from which the divine essence appears various in its image. I'm reading from Arcana Celestia, number 1026. Let it be observed that the Lord's divine goodness, though distinguished by the names of celestial divine goodness and spiritual, is entirely one, for it is infinite and in itself contains infinities. That which is infinite is entirely one, for the infinities which it contains are one. But the reason for it being distinguished into celestial and spiritual is from the reception of it by angels in the heavens and by men on earth. Perceived by angels and men who are of the Lord's kingdom, it is called celestial divine goodness. But received by angels and men who are of his spiritual kingdom, it is called spiritual divine goodness. For all angels and men variously or dissimilarly receive the one only goodness of the Lord. This is comparatively like the heat and light of the sun, which considered in themselves are entirely one, and yet vary according to the times of the year and of the day, and are dissimilar in every region of the earth, which variety of heat and light is not caused by the sun, but by the various revolutions of the earth, according to the varieties of its circuit and its revolution on its axis, and thus by reception. It is the same with light, which is various in each object according to reception, and in this way colours are produced. Reading from Divine Love and Wisdom, number 124. The Lord is not in a greater or less degree of love and wisdom with one than with another. In other words, he, as the Son of Heaven, is not present with a greater or less degree of spiritual warmth and light with one than with another, for he is everywhere identical. Reading from Arcana Celestia, number 2706. The Lord is present with everyone, for otherwise he could not live, and he rules even to the minutest particulars of his life. He is present too, even with the very worst, and in hell itself. But then it is after a different manner according to their reception of his life. With those who corruptly receive the life which consists in the love of his goodness and truth, and who pervert it into the love of wickedness and falsehood, the Lord is present, and as far as possible directs their ends of life to goodness. But his presence with these is called absence, and is indeed an absence of a like degree as their evil is distant from goodness and their falsehood from truth. Presence, on the contrary, is justly predicated of those who receive the life which consists in the love of the Lord's goodness and truth, and that according to the degree of their reception. Reading from Apocalypse Explained, number 80. The Lord is present with all those who are in the universe, but spiritually nearer or more remote according to their reception of goodness by the medium of truth from him. For it is in the goodness that the Lord is present with angel, spirit, and man, and just according to the quantity and quality of the goodness which they have from him, even so great and of such a quality is his presence with him. Even so great and of such a quality is his presence with them. And reading from Arcana Celestia, number 8781. The divine essence cannot appear to anyone in any other way than in agreement with the state of his life, to whom he appears, and the apperception which he derives from his life. Thus, heavenly light appears to those who love themselves and the world, which was preeminently characteristic of the Jews, in no other way than as the density of a cloud.